Hey, Happy New Year, folks. This is Lorraine Brock with Tip Tuesday today. And it's New Year's. It's the absolute best time to do a Tip Tuesday. And I bet you guys didn't know that January is National Get Organized Month. So, yay! Tons of organizational talks and New Year resolution talks today here on Tip Tuesday. So if you're new to Tip Tuesday is a weekly episode on Facebook Live where I myself, Lorraine Brock, professional organizer and owner of Get Organized, brings you tips and more tips on all things organizational. And we cover a different topic every week. We show a Tip Tuesday tool of the week. Every week there is a surprise product or resource or something on the inside that will help you guys get organized. We also give away something every week. It is something I think awesome this week. Actually, next week's awesome too. Like 2 weeks of really awesome things. Something we're going to give away today is something you probably don't even know you need, and but definitely could use. And so I'm very excited to talk to you about our giveaway when we get to it. So watch the entire episode, and towards the end we will give away our prize, or at least tell you what it is, and then show you how you can be in the drawing. So today we're talking about New Year's resolutions, and this is going to be a couple different ways we're going to slant this. Number one is how do you keep New Year's resolutions? And second of all, geared towards getting organized if that is your goal this year. Then we're going to talk about some real practical things that you can do to get your life organized. Now, that doesn't mean every area of your life has to change. It doesn't mean that you have to tackle everything this year. So don't get overwhelmed. I'm going to get you started on some things, and I think you'll have great success in 2019. So a little bit about resolutions. I'm going to sort of share a little bit of my resolutions. I'm going to share a little bit about my past resolution in my current year. So I'll say many years, probably, 3 or 4 years ago, let's go back a little further. About 15, 20 years ago, we started a tradition with some wonderful family friends of ours in Waco, Texas. They're actually our Christian mentors. We love them. Anything biblical we need to have wisdom or counsel on, we absolutely go to them. And we started getting together with their family once a year during New Year's. Now that has since changed. Family dynamics change, and we still see them, but not on New Year's at least anymore. But we went through a series of many of years of everyone writing down their New Year's resolutions. They can have as many as you want. And what we ended up doing was reviewing those at a year later the next time we met. In addition to that, it was sort of my job to remind each of us about halfway through the year of your New Year's resolutions. I had one thing one year I had is learn to play the piano. Well, I didn't want to take the lessons, really, but it was a time issue. So I actually got out some beginner's piano books and started being able to play beginner songs from the keyboard that we had in our home. And since then I've stopped, but I was so proud of myself. I could actually play a song that I taught myself. But one of the strangest things that I found very, it's a joke today, and everyone says, I'm so going to apply your New Year's resolution. But when I said it, it sort of came out really, really bad. One of my resolutions years ago was to spend less time with unimportant people. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, she's horrible. Well, that really came from I was spreading myself too thin trying to help people. Me and my husband do a lot of mentoring, Christian counseling, lay counseling, that is, Bible study. And not only that, there's other people that just need some help. And we were working with different couples, and all of a sudden, I just really felt like I was spreading myself too thin. I was giving myself, my time, my energy away to people that wasn't really going to use my information. For example, I was invited to the Tupperware parties and all these parties that you get, invited to, especially as women. And I had decided that I was going to do less of that, if not eliminate it from my life, because to me, that was not really productive. If I want to go out and talk to a girlfriend or hang out, I was going to do it, but not over a party. And that was just sort of something I sort of had to evaluate. So spending less with unimportant people. All people are important, but know my heart when I said that. It was really, I was being drained, and I had to really decide where was the best use of my time for each individual and family. So anyway, that's gone on for many years. And of course, there's been organizational New Year's resolutions. There has been a physical New Year's resolutions, a biblical New Year's resolution about getting into the Word more and talking about changing my life through God's book, the Bible, not man's opinion. So this year, my husband and I talked, and our New Year's resolution to go into 2019 is to start taking every other month a 3-day adventure. It has to be 3 days. It has to be an adventure, meaning and we've eliminated it, or actually eliminated things that are really far away or really, really expensive. So we're going to stay in a 3-hour radius of our home, and it has to be something that we've never done or never been to that particular place. So we're looking very forward, excited to that. In addition, my personal resolution is to stop buying things that are a bargain deal. I love shopping for really like 90% off. And when I see something 90% off, I want to buy all of it because I know I'll use it eventually. But I'm really focused on saving that money, time, energy, and space this year. So while I will buy some things, I'm making better decisions already. This morning, even made a good decision about not buying stuff and using my money in a different way, or just saving it. So anyway, and I don't know if you guys know, but getting organized is one of the top 10 New Year's resolutions. So I find that every year there's a huge amount of people that want to get organized in their life. So while I don't have any organizational goals this year, other than obviously to stay on the great track that I think I am, there will be adjustments that I make throughout the year, but they're not necessarily a resolution. So I've sort of shared with you what mine and my husband's resolutions are for 2019. So I want to talk a little bit about, in some of these questions that I'm going to let you know that I'm talking about, is I was recently on a CBS program I think it's called Plugged In DFW. And they gave me a plethora of questions that they potentially might talk about. And they did not get around to all of it, nor was I able to expand on all of it. But I thought, what a great Tip Tuesday is to revisit, if not go ahead and visit for the first time, some tips about New Year's resolutions and staying organized, and how do you keep a resolution? So the first question that I was asked is how to have a better chance of keeping a resolution. So I'm going to answer that and give you tip number 1 to answer that. And the question is, how does someone have a better chance of keeping a New Year's resolution? And really, it's all about scheduling. It is imperative. I am a stickler on this with everything in my life, is there's a difference between planning to do something versus scheduling it. And if I don't schedule anything, then I'm probably only going to do what comes to mind, or those emergency type things, and maybe some things that are routine. So my number 1 tip in keeping your New Year's resolution is to schedule time now to do it. Not just say you're going to do it, but actually schedule a time. So whether that, I'll give you a prime example. I picked up groceries this morning, and I brought home, obviously, like you guys out there, all the healthy stuff. The mushrooms and the tomatoes and the fruits and the sweet potatoes. And I'm like, if I'm going to eat more of this year, I've got to be able to do quick food prep. I have to do it. I cannot just buy it and put it in the refrigerator. So I've scheduled time today on my calendar to actually food prep. It actually is a line item on my calendar. So whether you're going to the gym and you're working out, or whether you're wanting to get an area of your life organized, like clean out your file cabinet and start gathering tax papers, or just clean it out because you haven't cleaned it out in the last 15 years, you need to schedule time. I absolutely am a stickler. I'm not a big person on doing to-do lists. I'm a much more better chance of getting things done if it's on my calendar, because I can truly look at my calendar and see where I have free time to actually do something. If I say I'm just going to do it, then it might or might not get done. If I put it on my calendar, it definitely has a better chance of getting done. That means I use my calendar like a scheduled to-do list. And if I don't get to it sometimes, then it will get moved to another day that I can address it. So the number one tip for having a best chance to getting your New Year's resolutions is scheduling them. And that may not be just one day you schedule it. It may be multiple days that you schedule that. Even working out, you would schedule on your calendar. So the second question that I was asked on this new segment that I'm going to share with you guys was, getting organized can be overwhelming. Where do you start? And I thought that was a great question, because when your entire home is completely disorganized, or you have a lot of rooms, where do you start? I mean, what do you start with? The biggest? Do you start with the smallest? Do you start with the messiest? Do you start with the one that bugs you the most? What do you do? So my answer as a professional organizer to you is, if you're wanting to get any area of your life organized, especially your physical home, that you're going to want to start with the easiest room first. And the reason for that is because you're going to feel motivated as soon as that room is complete. And maybe you can get it done in a half a day, maybe you can get it done in a day, but the whole idea is you're going to see results. And that's what motivates you. Whether you're losing weight or you're seeing yourself progress in a new hobby, you are motivated by results. We all are. So instead of just going and starting to tackle the largest room and you feel overwhelmed to the point where you just shut down and you don't finish, start with your easiest room. Normally that is a laundry room, or a small reach-in closet, normally. So that, for tip number 2, is that you want to start with the easiest room first if you are overwhelmed with organizing. And if it's not a physical space like a closet or a laundry room, then it's an area of your life. It could be getting organized in the kitchen or eating better. Start with the smallest thing first. And in my case today, I'm going to be doing some meal prep. I'm not tackling the entire menu plan right now. I'm just doing some food prep, so snacks I can get to easy. So, all right, number 3 question, and this will also include number 3 tip. So I was asked, again on this news station, if you're just tuning in, during an interview, they had asked me a lot of questions that I'm expanding on. So do you have to declutter and throw things away before you get organized? And the answer is absolutely no. People, what? You're an organizer. Well, getting organized is not always about throwing things away. As long as you have the space to store it, you can keep whatever you want. The problem comes in is when you have more stuff than space. So what I absolutely do before I go in and throw anything away, unless it's obvious trash, like candy bar wrappers or an empty soda can or something like that. If it's not obvious trash, then just sort everything first and see what you have before you start donating, and I say throwing things away, meaning getting rid of it. So you don't always have to get rid of things to get organized. So for you guys that are a little timid about organization, this should be really motivating to you, that you can get organized and have that pressure of you not having to get rid of stuff. to get organized. Now, you run into space problems. You don't have, you can't get it into the closet. There's no other place to put it. And you haven't seen things in years. Then you've got to make some decisions. Do I really use this? Do I really want this? Am I going to need it in the future? And not just thinking you'll need it, you have a specific idea of when you use it, like a holiday or a family reunion or something coming up that you use that item. So on tip number 3 is no, you don't have to throw things away, meaning trash or donate to get organized. So that should be good news to you guys. All right, the fourth question is at what point is it good to get rid of things? So I'll be honest with you. Transitional times are really good to get rid of things. If you are moving, downsizing, making a job change, transitional points in our life, even right before you have a baby or right after you become an empty nester, these are all great times to get organized and get rid of things because our season of our life changes. And you may not need as much as you have now. And there's a reason that those transitional times are real motivating to get rid of things. So you don't have to just be set in getting decluttered if you're in transition. The good news is that you really can do it at any time. But those are great times to actually get rid of things. The other thing is if you're running out of space. And we've talked about that. If you're completely out of space and you're having to store things around baseboards and floorboards and in corners of rooms, you know that you're really at that point that you need to start getting rid of things. You need to make some wise decisions. So the next one is once you're organized, how do you stay organized? And I thought this is a great question because we even try to teach this to our clients is let us get you organized, but then once you're organized, let's get you to the point where you can stay organized long after we leave. And this requires, be honest with you, some really good time management skills because if you're not spending your time wisely, you're probably not allowing time to pick up your home and put things back. But if I'm going to give you one tip for once you are organized, how do you stay? The number one tip I would give you and every member of your family is back up bedtime and back up and put up. So whether you try to hit the bed at 10 p.m., don't just turn out the lights, load the dishwasher, switch the laundry and go to bed. Actually pick up and put up. That means maybe turn off the TV at 9 o'clock and start having family members or whatever time your kids go to bed have to pick up and put up their toys, their room, the games that they have out, the things on the coffee table that you lay there while you're lounging on the couch. Not just shut it down and do what is necessary, like clean dishes and clean laundry, but actually put up the things that are laying around the house. So again, my tip for once you're organized on how to stay organized is pick up and put up, but back up your bedtime to where you're allowing yourself to pick up and put up before you go to bed. Because who has time when they're rushing out the door the next morning? Life starts quick. That's not going to be enough time for you to do it. So make this a routine in 2019 that you can pick up and put up before you go to bed. Allow enough time though. So that are some of our tips and expanded questions that I was interviewed this week or last week about how to stay organized. So I hope you gained something from that. So I want to mention real quick, our giveaway last week was a Christmas apron that I suggest that you use for housing all your Christmas supplies, like when you're wrapping, like your scissors and pens and name tags and all those ribbons that you can make all curly and stuff. And we are going to give that away to Pat Ramirez. Pat, you have won that Christmas apron. And if you'll get in touch with us with your address, we will have it mailed out to you. And you can use it next year when you are wrapping gifts for Christmas. I love the idea of having it right there, an apron on you, and it's very festive. So Pat, thanks for watching Tip Tuesday and look forward to hearing from you. So our giveaway this time, wow. Okay. So our giveaway this time is something that I think everybody needs, but probably few people have. We just got in the office these little bitty things. The logo is going to appear backwards, but you can see here, let me hold that up to the camera. This is actually a webcam cover. So how you would use this is it has some sticky stuff on the side right here, and you would stick it on top of your where your webcam is, that is on maybe your laptop or your tablet. When you want to use your webcam, you just open it up so you can actually video or take a picture. And then when you're not using it for privacy reasons, you want to close it. And I think, like, I have only seen these a very few times, and I thought this would be a great thing to have to give away on Tip Tuesday. So you have our company logo here, and I'm actually going to put one on my laptop and tablet as well. I'm sort of a little bit of a privacy nut. So when I'm not on my camera on my laptop or using my video, it's going to be closed. That way, if any hackers try to access my computer video camera or my laptop, then I can shut them out easily by keeping that closed. And it's just so easy. You just slide it with a finger open when you're ready to use that. So we are giving away this on Tip Tuesday. So how do you get it? I want to hear from you of what your New Year's resolution is. Now, a New Year's resolution in my book is not something you hope for. It is something that you can actually participate in seeing come to fruition. It can be a goal with weight loss, or to mend a relationship, to read more books, or to have more family time, or be honest with you, for many of you, it's to find a good church home and get your family in church under the gospel. Whatever it might be. I just think that it would be really great to hear your guys' New Year's resolutions, not things hoped for, but things that you can actually take part in contributing to see that it comes true. And really, other than that, it's just hopeful thinking. So I really want to hear from you guys. So leave a comment down below of what your New Year's resolution or what new thing you're going to focus on this year, if you don't want to call it that. And I would love to hear that. And I've obviously shared with mine, with you guys, my New Year's resolutions and things this year that I'm going to do different. So, all right, on to the next thing. Our Tip Tuesdays tool. I really love this part. I really do. Our Tip Tuesdays tool is something pretty unique. So every week we have a product or a resource that's in our Tip Tuesday toolbox here. And I share with you guys what it is and where I got it from and how to use it. And it doesn't necessarily have to go along with the topic that we're talking about each week. And in fact, this case, it does not go along with it. But I'm going to show you what I have in here. And I'll explain it. All right. So these are actually wooden shelves from IKEA. The name of these is called LACE, L-A-C-E. And if you look on, hopefully that won't fall. If you look on the back here, they actually have mounting stuff here that you can mount on the wall. And how I have seen these used before to maximize space is these are a great, well, they're great for many reasons, but I've loved to see the LACE shelf. If you have a area in between your bed and a wall or a bookshelf or something that you really need a nightstand, but you want to go really inexpensive and you want to go with something that maybe doesn't sit on the floor so you can vacuum underneath it, plethora of things. You can put a couple of these, and I would put more than one, a couple of these on mounted to your wall right next to your bed. And so you can have them any far apart distance that you want. Obviously, I would probably keep them, at least 12 inches apart. that you can put drinks, that you can put books, that you can put decor or a photo frame of your family. But the Lac shelves are very expensive. I honestly don't remember how much I paid for these, but they are great for making sort of I call it like a mock nightstand. But these, I don't know what other colors these come in. These are black, and you can get these at IKEA. And to be honest, I think they're around $5 a piece, but I may be wrong on that. So if you have a kid's room, anything that you just need a little bit extra space, or even, it doesn't even necessarily have to be beside your bed, but that's the way I've seen them used most of the time, is beside your bed for the actual shelves, just to create like a mock nightstand. So, all right, so I want to focus on a little bit of our services here at Get Organized. Each week I tell you something about what we do, maybe in a little bit of different way, or maybe a service that you didn't even know that we did. So Christmas is over. Today is New Year's Day, and I have all my decorations still up. They're coming down in about 3 days. And yes, I have it scheduled. Remember, difference between planning versus scheduling. Already taught you something there. So, putting up for Christmas. If you need some help getting down all your Christmas decorations and going through past styles and themes that you no longer use, you need storage solutions. You don't know what to buy to store things in. You want it ready for next year. Not only can we take down everything and put it all up and organize it, we can do the shopping for you for any kind of containers or storage solutions you need, and spruce up your home right now. In fact, starting today, this was not even scripted. Starting today, we're offering 1 hour of a free refrigerator clean out for all new clients when they book an 8-hour day. So basically we'll work a 9-hour day in your home doing whatever you want us to do for 8 hours. And then on that 9th hour, we give you a complete refrigerator clean out and organization of your refrigerator, including recommending products that you can order if you so choose. Don't have to, total option. So that's going to run the entire month of January. You can book it anytime in January or anytime in February, but that is a deal to get a free hour of a professional organizer cleaning out all those leftovers and spoiled foods. And yes, we know it. Some of you may have a little bit dirtier areas in your refrigerator than others, but we're ready. We're ready for it. So hopefully, if you need any of that service, give us a call. Our office will be open tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m. Until then, we're just sort of monitoring calls, but would love to hear from you and get you organized this 2019. All right, next Tip Tuesday. It's going to be so exciting because my son's going to be on with me. Well, one of my sons is. So one of my sons is a personal trainer. So we're going to be talking about an organized workout. And he's got some great tips. I've been talking to him and coming up with some cool things. We have a fabulous giveaway. Anyone and everyone would want it. And it goes along with next week's theme. Yes, it does. And it's awesome. So, organized workout next week. We're hoping we're going to be able to do Facebook Live in the gym that he works at. But we're still putting together the pieces to that. If not, doesn't matter. You're going to get great solutions and tips from him. And I'm going to throw in a tip from myself as well. For an organized workout. So don't forget to put it on your notifications set up for next Tuesday, or actually every Tuesday, to get notifications when we go live on Tip Tuesday. And would love to give you tons of organizing tips. So leave a comment below. Don't forget, guys, that we're giving away our webcam cover. Even has our company logo on it. And you can open it and close it. We're giving away this week. To anyone that leaves a comment down below concerning what your New Year's resolution is. I'm so excited. And I know you'll want to make sure, guys, listen to my New Year's resolution at the very beginning, because I think it's going to be an adventure this year. Hint. And I will share some of those adventures with you. Doesn't have to be very expensive, but we're going to hit some places and do some things. Plan it. Not just say you're going to do it, right? Big difference. So I'm excited. So leave a comment down below to be entered in that webcam cover giveaway. And if you'll leave a comment about your New Year's resolutions all the way to next Sunday night at midnight, you'll be entered in them, into our drawing, and we will make sure we notify you. So Happy New Year. I'm enjoying outside a little bit today, and I thought it would be grand to get out here and make this a cool segment in the cool weather. That's so. So Happy New Year's, guys. We have loved having you on Tip Tuesday. Y'all have a wonderful 2019. See you next Tuesday.